What marketing approaches are you using to develop federal business? If you're like many, your primary method is using tools to identify bid opportunities with federal agencies. Great, but there's just one problem. In most cases, this inserts you into the process far too late to increase your chance of winning. Here are two important numbers to consider: 67 and 100. Now, according to Serious Decisions, 67% of buyers have already decided on a solution before you were even invited into the procurement process. It's even worse for government contractors who only chase RFPs because nearly 100% of your buyers have already developed a buying vision and are only going through the process of selecting a vendor. But those vendors who talk to the agency before an RFP is issued have the edge, because they have a better understanding of the agency's needs, including any requirements and subtleties that go unstated in a solicitation. More importantly, they probably have helped shape the agency's solution design. Understanding the federal buying process and getting involved earlier is the key to success. Government agencies have their own unique practices, but their buying process is universally the same. First, it always involves many people with different perspectives and needs. At a minimum, it involves the end user who actually needs your product or service, the program manager who has the budget and must approve the purchase, and the contracting officer who is the official buying agent for the U.S. government. Collectively, they are the buyer, but each will have individual concerns that you must be prepared to address. With that in mind, every agency goes through a logical process that begins with understanding their need or problem, learning about possible solutions, selecting the best vendor, and extracting value. But the buying process is actually more complex than this. In the beginning, some agencies may not be aware that problems exist in their organization, and many are content with the way things are. They don't know that problems exist, change is coming, or that there are better ways to accomplish their goals. The single greatest chance to break in with an agency is by changing their comfort level with their status quo. Once an agency recognizes that a problem exists, they will no longer be satisfied with the status quo and will soon grow frustrated and dissatisfied. This is healthy and opens them up to change. They then move on to researching solutions by talking to experts, reviewing literature, and searching the web for information and answers. After completing research, the buyer envisions an ideal solution and prepares an appropriate statement of work. Agencies welcome input from industry early in the process. In fact, federal acquisition regulations encourage collaboration with industry in developing solutions. But once this stage is complete, it is very difficult to suggest changes to their approach. Agencies then move to acquiring the solution by issuing an RFP, receiving proposals, and evaluating vendor responses. The agency will sign the contract, and then it's all about delivery and client satisfaction, which is essential to developing the relationship and positioning your firm for future work. To understand why it's essential to get involved early, let's view this process on a timeline. Where do companies drop into the buying process? Most firms focus on using the latest and greatest bid identification tools so that they don't miss an opportunity. Unfortunately, that's far too late to have any meaningful impact on solution design or establishing your firm as the preferred vendor. You really want to be and need to be involved much earlier in the buying process. You should strive to break in at the unaware stage, because the firm that defines the problem with thought-provoking insight and offers a distinctive solution will establish the agency's buying vision. In turn, this will anchor your firm as the vendor of choice. So how do you get involved early in the process? You probably know that the largest contractors do this with sophisticated business development and capture management processes to pursue those multi-million-dollar contracts. But most firms don't have the vast resources to mimic that approach. You need to be smart and provocative in order to differentiate your firm and gain agency attention. You need to present a unique perspective on agency challenges so that they consider different ways to overcome their problems. Then you must be able to show truly differentiated elements of your solution in order to stand apart in a crowded market. Turbo GSA helps you get involved earlier in the buying process so you can share your unique viewpoints on client problems and contrast your approach with those of your competitors. Working with us, you will capture what truly separates you from your competitors. Create compelling content campaigns to attract and nurture federal agencies. And prepare stories and creative visuals that your business developers will use to demonstrate your unique perspectives and thought-provoking insight into agency problems. Remember, success in the federal market is not about finding opportunities. It's about creating opportunities. Download our solution brief to learn more about getting involved early in the buying process and positioning your firm as the go-to solution provider.